Hello YouTube, this is Super Fanboy Guy, and in this video I'm going to be showing you a Versus System deck profile. This deck is a Spider Friends Bring Your Own set, and what Bring Your Own set means is you just have all your cards in your deck are from one set, and in this case it's a Spider Friends deck from Marvel Team Up. Now, if some of you saw the live stream I did about a month ago, you'll know that this is one of the decks that I played in that live stream. And so in this video, I'm just going to kind of, just go over the cards, the abilities, and some of the plot twists, locations, and artifacts that we use. And this is going to be a video for people who may have not seen the live stream but want to look at the deck. So I plan on doing like a separate video for all the decks that we used in the live stream, but I figured out if I was going to start doing deck profiles for my channel, why not start with my favorite superhero, Spider-Man. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started on that. And please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. And let's just go ahead and begin. Okay, so we're going to start things off with the one-cost characters. And we run 4 copies of Aunt May, Golden Oldie. And what she does is you may discard a character card rather than pay for her recruit cost. And then when she enters play, you just get to search your deck for a card named Spider-Man, reveal it, and put it into your hand. And later in this video, we'll go over the different Spider-Man cards that you can search for with this card. But yeah, we just run her just to search for Spider-Man. Pretty self-explanatory. And moving to the 2-cost characters, we run 3 copies of Black Cat 9 Lives and 2 copies of Blade Nightstalker. Black Cat has an ability called Evasion, which means you get to stun her, and at the start of the recovery phase, you get to recover her. And whenever Black Cat becomes stunned, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. And this ability is just good to pretty much, just to draw cards and filter through your deck. And then Blade Nightstalker, he has Reservist, which, if you're unfamiliar with the Reservist, it just means you can recruit characters with Reservist from your resource row. And he has an ability, activate, discard a card. The next time target exhausted character would ready this turn, instead it remains exhausted. So you just do this on your opponent's characters so that they don't ready their characters. So it's a way that you can kind of, just stall the game a little bit longer. For the 3-cost characters, we run 2 copies of Darkhawk, Chris Powell, and 2 copies of Mattie Franklin, Reserve Webhead. And Darkhawk, what he does, he also has Reservist and Evasion. And he has an ability, pay to attack this turn. Target character loses flight this turn. And so this ability is good to use on characters with flight so they don't attack your support row characters. Certain characters like all the Green Lanterns, they have flight, so you can activate this and make them lose flight. Or Superman has flight, and it may be useful sometime in the game, depending on what deck you're playing against, of course. So Mattie Franklin also has Evasion. She has an ability, pay to attack this turn. Exhaust target visible character. Use only if Mattie Franklin is attacking, and only once per turn. So again, going with the whole exhaust theme, it's just another character that we can have to exhaust characters. Okay, so now we get into the 4-cost characters, which you'll notice that they're all the Spider-Man characters. So going back to the Aunt May, this is some of the targets that you can search for with her. So the 4-cost characters we run in the deck is Spider-Man, Spider-Hulk, 2 copies of that, 2 copies of Spider-Man Parasitic Host, 1 copy of Spider-Man the Amazing Bagman, and 2 copies of Spider-Man the Sensational Spider-Man. Spider-Man Spider-Hulk has an ability called Substitute, which I'll talk about later on after I go through all the cards here. So he also has an ability called Cosmic, and what Cosmic is when you play a character with Cosmic, they come in with a Cosmic counter, and when they get stunned, they lose the Cosmic counter, but if they have the Cosmic counter, they get like a certain ability. So in this case with Spider-Hulk, it's whenever he attacks, he gets +2/+2 this turn. Now, I should also note that his ability is for the turn, not just for the attack. So I just recently saw this when I was reading the card, and I was like, oh, wow, that's a lot better than I thought it was. So yeah, +2/+2 for the turn. So it could be pretty useful in some situations like, if you attack, he gets the +2/+2, and then your opponent gets to attack. He still has that +2/+2, so it makes it a little bit harder for your opponent's characters to attack into him. So, extra attack and extra defense is always nice. So, Spider-Man Parasitic Host has Substitute and Concealed optional. Now, what Concealed is when you play a character with Concealed, they go into the Concealed area. But since this one is optional, you can put him in the Concealed area or the Visible area. And he has an ability, discard 2 cards the next time target character would ready this turn. Instead, it remains exhausted and use it only once per turn. Going with the whole stall theme again, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then Spider-Man the Amazing Bagman has whenever Spider-Man becomes stunned, target opponent exhausts a ready character he controls. Again, goes with the whole exhaust theme. And of course, Spider-Man Sensational Spider-Man has pay 7 attack this turn. Exhaust target character with cost 3 or less. Use only if you control another Spider-Friends character. Okay, so I'm going to kind of explain now how Substitute works. So let's say on turn 4, I have Sensational Spider-Man, and I decide to play him, right? So I pay the 7 attack to exhaust a character that costs 3 or less. Well, what Substitute is you can substitute in the character if its cost is equal or greater than the card on the field. So, for an example, if we have this 7-drop Spider-Man, if we play it, we pay the 7 attack to exhaust something, we can remove the Sensational Spider-Man to play, for example, Parasitic Host. So now our Parasitic Host is a new card and it has 7 attack. So now it pretty much gains its attack back. So that's kind of how Substitute works. And it could be a pretty useful ability in some circumstances. But anyway, that's finishing up the 4-cost characters. And next we move on to our 5-cost characters. We run 4 copies of Phil Urich, Green Goblin, Lunatic, Laugh. And then 2 copies of Michael Collins, Deathlok, Schizophrenic, Cyborg. So what Green Goblin does is he has Reservist and has an ability called Pay 2, attack this turn, stun any number of non-defending characters with a combined cost of 2 or less. Use this if only Phil Urich is attacking and only once per turn. So when you attack with him, you pay the 2 attack and you can stun 1 2-drop or 2 1-drops. And it's good against those army decks like the shield burn deck, because you can hit 2 shield agents to help get rid of their cards a little bit faster. So that's why we play him. And Deathlok also has Reservist, and he has pay 5 attack this turn. Michael Collins has Invulnerability this turn, used only if Michael Collins is in combat. And pretty much we run him because he's good if we don't have the initiative and we're on defense. And he's just a good card for 5. And to explain what Invulnerability is pretty much when you get stunned, you normally take the threshold damage when you get stunned. In this case, it's 5. But Invulnerability, you don't take that 5 damage if you have it. So he's just good to help maintain our endurance to make sure that we don't die. Because, again, this deck wants to stall for the later turns as much as possible. So that's it for the 5-drop or 5-cost characters. Okay, for 6-cost characters, we run 3 copies of Daredevil, New Kingpin, and 2 copies of Wolverine, Knucklehead. Daredevil has the ability, pay 2 attack this turn, exhaust target visible character, use it only if Daredevil is attacking. So he's not I want to make a note that he's not a once per turn, so you can use his ability as many times as you like, but it does have to cost you 2 attack every time you use it. And Wolverine Knucklehead, what he does is he has Reservist, and while you control Spider-Man, Wolverine cannot be stunned while attacking. So he's pretty good if you're on the initiative on turn 6 and you're attacking first, because it's essentially you get to potentially stun a character for free without having to take any stun damage. So very solid card, but the only reason why we run 2 copies is because it's a situational card. He's really good if you're on the initiative, and thought that 2 cards was the appropriate amount. For 7-cost characters, we run 3 copies of Spider-Man Stark's Protege. Now, this is kind of the reason why we play the deck. This Spider-Man has loyalty, which means you can only recruit him if he if you have a character of the same team affiliation as him. So in this case, it's Spider Friends. And he has an ability, pay X attack this turn, exhaust target character with attack X or less, use only once per turn. So, he's our main exhaust guy pretty much, and you can attack with him and then pay the attack after, pay his attack power after you've attacked a character with him, assuming he doesn't get stunned back. So yeah, just a solid 7-drop, and he's probably one of the best Spider-Man cards in the game in my opinion. So yeah, we run 3 copies of him. And so finishing off the character cards, we run 1 copy of the Sentry, the Golden Guardian of Good. He also has loyalty, and he has an ability, pay 1 attack this turn. Target character gets -1 attack this turn. So pretty much you can use it, his power for defense or offense purposes. So you can maybe attack with him and then pay his attack to lower your opponent's attack, so that you can maybe exhaust something with the 7-drop Spider-Man, or do kind of a different combinations like that, depending on the situation that's happening and how the turns play out and that kind of stuff. So yeah, just 1 copy of him. Now moving on to the artifact cards, we run 4 copies of Ego Gem. And what Ego Gem does is whenever equipped character becomes stunned, you may return Ego Gem to its owner's hand. And equipped character has activate, draw a card, use only during the combat phase. So it's just a card draw engine, for just to get more cards into your hand. So moving on to locations, we run 4 copies of Empire State University. And what this does is activate Exhaustive Spider Friends character you control. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 into your hand and the other at the bottom of your deck. So again, it's just the way of searching for character cards, making sure that you get the cards that you need on time. So yeah, just a good utility card. Okay, now we're moving into plot twist cards, and starting with the 2-cost plot twists, we run 4 copies of Indebted. And to play, discard a card. So it could be a character card, plot twist, whatever card. And if you discard a card named Spider-Man, search your deck for a Spider Friends character. Otherwise, search your deck for a card named Spider-Man, reveal that card, and put it into your hand. So pretty much, if you discard a Spider-Man, you get a Spider Friends, and any other card you could just get a Spider-Man card. So it's a good search card to make sure you get your characters on time. And so for the 3-cost plot twist, we run 3 copies of Against All Odds, 4 copies of Big Leagues, 3 copies of Gift Wrap, and 4 copies of Spider Signal. Against All Odds is if all characters you control share at least 1 team affiliation, target attacker or defender you control gets -3/+3 this attack. So I mostly use this as a defender. I rarely use it as an attacker, but +3 defense could be pretty good in a situation that can prevent your character from, for example, being stunned. So in that sense, it could be, really helpful. So that's why we just run 3 copies of that. Big Leagues, if all characters you control share at least 1 team affiliation, target attacker you control gets +4 attack this attack. Now, I felt like the deck that needed some kind of offense to it, so I thought Big Leagues was appropriate. And the thing with Big Leagues is it pumps up your attack so much that there might be a situation where, for an example, you might add attack to your 6-drop Daredevil that's attacking. So it gives you more attack to pay for to exhaust more characters. So, depending on the situation, that might be what you might want to do. Or if you just need that extra pump attack to break through your opponent's defenses to stun them, then that's where it could also be good. Now, Gift Wrapped, what it does is to play exhaust a character named Spider-Man you control. Exhaust any number of target characters if their combined cost is less than or equal to that Spider-Man's cost. So if we Gift Wrap on, let's say, the 7-drop Spider-Man we can exhaust 1 7-drop, or you can exhaust 2 3-drops and a 1-drop, or any combination of cards you have to the cost of the 7-drop Spider-Man. So again, another stall card that just helps us to, not get hit by our opponent's character cards. So 3 copies of Spider Signal. Target Spider Friend's attacker or defender you control gets -2/+2 or +2/-2 this attack. So again, it could be a situational depending if you want to use this as an attacker or as a defender. So just 4 copies. And that is it for the deck profile. So yeah, again, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you guys have any changes that you would make to the deck, or if any feedback on the deck would be greatly appreciated also. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.